Stoneman 100 has Middlesex cruising. Darren Stevens took 4 for 21 as Middlesex collapsed in Canterbury, reduced to 147 all out from a decent position of 121 for 3. But the visitors had hit back, Kent ever so slightly ahead, 5 down for 101 runs, the visiting attack finding some late momentum. And they quickly had their 6th. Ollie Robinson's stumps left all in a heap when he was bowled by Bamber early on day 2. Milnes and Mayeye looked to hold off the Middlesex charge, but could only get as far as 112 when Milnes holed out for 16, caught by Holman off Anderson. And Stevens wouldn't be allowed to make his mark with the bat as well as the ball, bowled by Bamber for 4, Kent still trailing by 25. O'Riordan lost his leg stump with the score on 130, Roland Jones had his number. And Stewart departed to the next delivery, out LBW for none. 2 boundaries from Mayeye in the next over took them to 9 shy of Middlesex's first innings total, but that would be as far as they made it. Caught behind for 30 off Anderson, Kent's innings at an end on 138. From starting the day in an advantageous position, Kent had crumbled under the pressure of the Middlesex attack and lost 5 wickets for 37 runs to give their hosts a slight advantage. Mayeye's knock of 30 proved to be the top score in an innings where few batsmen had found their feet. Stoneman and Robson once again got their side off to a calm and composed start. Both men found the boundary early in their knocks to take Middlesex into lunch with 32 on the board, and they were now leading by 41. Stoneman returned with 2 consecutive boundaries off the bowling of Gilchrist. Middlesex had resumed with real intent. The same though couldn't be said about Sam Robson. He nicked Stevens through to Robinson to depart for 19. Stoneman though wasn't put off. He found 2 off Stevens to tick the score over to 50 and watched as Eskenazi climbed into the Kent all-rounders bowling. The second wicket partners were setting a decent rate early in the session. It meant that after just 53 balls and 41 minutes together at the crease, they'd shared 50 runs. Stoneman's shot-making was impeccable, and another drive had his side up to 100 off less than 20 overs. 2 off Milnes brought him back-to-back half-centuries. This one scored off a lightning 49 balls. Bell Drummond came into the attack and made the difference. Eskenazi trapped in front for 31, the visitors' charge slowed by the part-timer. That proved to be a blip for Middlesex though. Robbie White joined Stoneman at the crease and the pattern of play resumed. The opener at the forefront, White too finding the boundary, and 150 reached when the former Durham and Surrey man sent Gilchrist to the ropes. He brought another 50 partnership up off the same bowler, the shot well timed, and his innings was just getting better. By the time they reached tea, Middlesex's lead was now 194, and Stoneman had made his way into the 90s. White fell shortly after the break, no 50 for the number 4, out caught for 38, Cox with a simple catch in the slips. Stoneman was still there, and with a single off Stewart, he took his side to 200 runs and his score to the cusp of 3 figures. That came with his 16th 4, cut through the offside off Milnes, scored off 132 balls. His fruitful start to his Middlesex career went on. He lost another partner though. Max Holden misjudged the delivery from Milnes and let it slam into his stumps. Kent had the key wicket they were after. Stoneman out for 109, chopping Bell Drummond on to his own stumps. With their visitors threatening to streak away from them, Kent had found a bit of a groove. Anderson caught behind for 15, another for Bell Drummond. But from there, Middlesex marched on. Holman and Simpson weren't shy in the closing stages of the day, and both men had their foot firmly on the accelerator. Holman signed off by smashing O'Riordan for 6. Simpson then followed that. A more tame shot for 1 off the spinner ensured the 7th wicket duo had added 50 runs. They reached the close 2 shy of 300, but their lead had already eclipsed that mark. Middlesex in the driving seat heading into day 2 after Kent's earlier collapse. They'll look to keep this going for as long as possible on day 3, with a final round win starting to look likely for the visitors.